Listen, bro, I want to invest somewhere, but I don't understand what, where, why at all. Bro, listen, I've set myself a tinkering investment. What's there? How to buy a cue ball. Listen bro, I want to get some loot in the crypt. What are you doing? Tell me, I want to live like this. Okay. Hi there. Sergey Chachba is in touch and today I will tell you about a professional investment tool from the world of crypts. A year or two ago you would not have known about this tool. But today you have the opportunity to find out, disassemble and understand how you can earn impressive amounts here on almost the only safe instrument in this market and almost the only one that guarantees 100% profit. If you are familiar with this market, but still do not understand how to start earning real normal money here without painful long training and without huge capital, then you clicked on the right link. If you have just come into this world, you want to start investing, you are a beginner, you have even downloaded Tinkoff Investments, Spare Investments and maybe even Alpha, then right now you can pause this video, log into your social networks and change the status to Lucky. Because there is no other way to call you. A lot of people have been developing in this world of investments for years and do not know about this tool. In short, there will be meat now. Get the whiners and cowards off the screens. In order. The tool I'm talking about is called Over the Wounded and it suits people who want to become really successful investors, but do not want to bother too much, learn something for a very long time and having a starting capital, well, not exceeding $3,000. What are we dealing with? Look, in the world of crypts, as everywhere, new companies are launched by hundreds, thousands monthly. And these companies need help at the start. And of course, they attract investors there. People come, pay them hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars there, and then wait for the company to launch, when the company will start bringing them profit. If I were talking about this tool now, I probably wouldn't say anything at all. I was just quietly throwing and waiting for wonderful miracles. But I'm going to talk about a tool that is available to absolutely everyone. So, back to the companies. How can we still help, other than to pour money? The answer is very simple, the company is deploying a blockchain. Blockchain is a technology. Any IT technology requires server computing power. And if it was a company of the last century, it would need one server. They would have bought it, rented it, and stopped worrying about it. But since we are talking about blockchain, and this story is about decentralization, that is, accordingly, the company needs decentralized servers, that is, a lot of servers, there are hundreds, 200, 300 unique servers. And of course, they offer ordinary people to help provide this power in return for a subsequent reward. Well, let's help the guys. So, what does it look like? You provide the power. Companies use a month, 2, 3, 6 months, everyone has different terms there. This is also important to understand. After that, when the company has tested everything, checked all the algorithms, made sure that all its bundles are normal, it finishes testing, there may be some period of time to prepare for entering the market, for listing on exchanges, and it goes to the stock exchange. Before that, you get company tokens or NFT company tokens. And when the company is listed, you are these tokens, these are your assets, you can sell them and get your money. A small remark, company tokens, NFT and company tokens are, well, roughly speaking, although not quite a correct example, like stocks. Well, so that you just understand. And they certainly grow. Let's look at the examples from over the past 6 months, the project that fired was called Athos. Many who are in the market have heard about it. All we did was register. Someone was able to install a node for himself, someone could not, but even those who just registered, for example, I was like that, were eventually poured 300 tokens. At the exit, when we sold, this token cost from $8 to $10. I sold for $9.5 and it turned out to be almost $3,000. Well, not a fig to myself, beauty. And someone registered 5 times and earned $15,000 each. And such projects are well not uncommon. Let's dig a little earlier. Solana's project, many have heard about it. CoinSol. And once it was a project unknown to anyone, once the company also just came up with something, tested it, someone helped it. And those guys who helped her were rewarded with coins, which were then sold for $100,000 or $200,000. Also the Avalanche project, the AVAX coin. In the same way, someone helped this company at the exit, kept it. If I am not mistaken, they were given 2,000 tokens, which were then sold for $100,000 to $150,000. And such projects are quite common in an uptrend, a bullish trend, as it is called. Such projects are fired every 3 or 4 months. In a downtrend, as the bearish trend is now, such projects shoot well once every 6 to 12 months. But even in such a market, this tool makes money. That's exactly what the ADAS project was in such a market, and someone had 5 registrations of notes, someone had 10, then there were 20. And for all this, people earned money. Accordingly, those who were able to put notes, there were more rewards. Who participated well in the testnet, something else has been done in their pens, this is not necessary, for example, I do not participate in this, then even more tokens have been earned. And all these are the capabilities of this particular tool. What do we offer? We are a community of crypto enthusiasts operating in various instruments related to cryptocurrencies. And node running is one of our main tools. And of course, we monitor all sites, all resources, and are always aware of the most interesting and delicious projects. Of course, hundreds and thousands of projects enter the market every month, and you need to carry out a certain amount of work, you need certain knowledge to choose those there 1, 2, 3, 5 projects in which it really makes sense to invest your money and your time. Well, as a result, you get already selected projects and you only need to install them. Everything. We all have instructions. Step by step, step by step. If suddenly something, well, it's unclear, some problems, there is a manager attached to you, a manager who will help you overcome any nuance, will help you adjust everything. Also, if you don't want to do anything yourself at all, well, for example, like me, then we have a full support service and they will do everything for you. There is also basic training where you just, well, read it. If you don't understand what the crypto market is at all, read it and you will understand, you won't feel stupid in the new community. Well, as for me, this is a concern. Well, now the most interesting topic for everyone. And what about money? What's the dough, bro? How much do I need? By points. The first is access to the chat, where all this is given. Yes, our chat costs $1,000 for 6 months. This is the main tariff. Of course, you can pay by the month. That'll be $200 a month. But the main tariff that we recommend going to is 6 months. In 6 months you will definitely earn, you will definitely see your money and will not merge. Again, we give a guarantee, if suddenly you don't have a profit for this period, then you don't pay for 6 months, no one will pull you out, you stay in the community, you continue to install new nodes with us in the same way. And as long as you don't shoot at least one node and pay off all your investments, you won't pay for the next 6 months. And there is also annual access, but for lifetime access you will communicate individually with the manager. What other costs are there? I'm talking now about the primary costs, which will be mandatory. The costs of the servers themselves. Of course, if you have some kind of cool gaming computer that costs $500,000 there, you would certainly like to use it somehow. Be prepared that you will need to demolish everything from there, install Linux and give this computer purely for these tasks. I don't think that will suit you. Therefore, in any case, we will tolerate certain costs for servers, remote servers, which cost an average of $15 to $30 per node. And how many such servers are needed per month? Let's do the math with you. If we take today's bear market, then we can count on 1 or 2 nodes per month. Well, let's say we take 2 nodes. In 6 months we get 12 nodes. Accordingly, we need to calculate approximately, and how long do we keep them? Well, on average, the nodes last 3 months. Accordingly, we multiply by 3, that is, we get 36. Multiply by an average of $22, we get about $800 a month. If you want to have duplicates, clones for each node, well, multiaking is called, yes, then multiply this amount by 2, by 3, by 5. But in fact, from the start, I would not recommend doing this. From the start, I would recommend going in and checking what kind of tool it is to get the first profit and increase the money already earned. Here is your spending budget for this tool. And these are the dry expenses that you will need. That is, when you do everything yourself. Here you can do everything yourself. In fact, it does not take much time, but it may take you 5 or 6 hours to look, sort out, read there. And the activity itself to set notes is 15, 20, 30 minutes, an hour at most, and then just go in once a day, look at your notes, whether everything is fine with them, whether everything is working. It's not a lot of time, but nevertheless, for most people it's very important that everything works without their participation. And of course, we have a history of full support, which costs $100 a month, and it implies the installation of all nodes with duplicates, yes, up to 5 times. That is, let's say we have 12 nodes, respectively, you have 12 projects for each node, for each project you can set a node up to 5 times with the help of your manager, without doing anything yourself. But, of course, some moments will be needed, yes, social networks that are tied to this whole story. Discord is yes, or the next social network, I don't even know what it's called, well, it doesn't matter, you need accounts on these social networks and maybe you will need to register in these social networks. It's okay, it won't take much time there. Further, what other expenses are there? If you are a resident of Russia, then you will need some kind of non-Russian card and you can get it somewhere yourself. Maybe you have such an opportunity. If not, then there is a service where you can get such a card. It costs $100 at a time. In general, this is all in terms of expenses. Put everything together yourself, calculate, and you will understand exactly what amount you need to count. Before you exclaim wow. It's so cool, that's exactly what I was looking for. Let's discuss with you another very important point. This direction is a little bit like venture investment, when you take several projects, invest money in them and wait for them to somehow develop and make a profit. The fact is that here, of course, we do not invest any big money, but not all projects enter the market. And based on experience over the past 6 months, for example, we have participated in 11 projects. Yes, that is, they kept it, but up to 11 projects. One of them has already fired, I spoke about it earlier. This is Aptus, which, in principle, paid off all investments in 6 months for those who received only 1 reward, the minimum, for those who received 5, 10, 20, respectively, not in good profit. 3 more projects, which are called the second mass finance, fat and minimum, they are about we are waiting for their release. Yes, that is, they will also bring their own profit. These are projects that really come out, everything is fine with them. Another project is not boring, in my opinion it is called. He moved on to the second stage of testing and we accordingly moved on with him. The rest of the projects have sunk into oblivion, it is unclear what happened to them, where they went, and this is normal. It is also normal to understand that when you enter this direction, you do not need to expect that in a month you will receive some kind of, I do not know, your percentages, I do not know their, 30%, 20%, 10. There are no percentages here. We are not talking about percentages with you. I think you understand how it all happens, and of course you need to understand that projects can be listed in 6 months, in 8 months, maybe in 3 or 4 months, maybe in a year. And you need to be prepared for this. You need to be prepared for this, you need to understand. But it's like sowing, yes, when you just sow the seeds and once one sprout came in, once the second sprout came in. When you do this all the time, then in a year or 2 you will just have blooming fields bearing fruit with your profits. But for this you need to go some route, for this you need to become a professional in this tool. Let's summarize the results. This is a tool for years. If you do it responsibly, then in a year or 2 or 3, you may not need any other sources of income at all. To date, this tool is really almost the only one that somehow guarantees you a profit. Moreover, if you do it all the time, you can go to another level. If this is a test level for this, then there is also a level of mining, when we do not just keep nodes for testing, but are validators, yes, that is, we keep a permanent node of a working project and receive remuneration for this in the form of a blockchain commission. Well, for example, the same Solana that I mentioned earlier. Validators of this network currently receive about 1,000 coins, and this token is traded even in today's market in the region of $10 to $11. That is, just because you keep a network node constantly, you get $10,000 a month. How many times can you hold it? 10, 20, 30. Here are such promising friends. How do you like it? Well, friends, if you are ready to go along with us, get rich with us, then all you need to do now is follow the link, it is under this video, or from the person who threw this video to you, get into our bot, choose a tool there, yes, it's called Nodes, choose the tariff that suits you, pay for it, contact your manager and today you will install your first node. All friends, Sergey Chachba was in touch with everyone Gwala Gwala.